gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
So not only did I grow up going to a predominantly black school, but I've also been on team sports with majority black teams, if not all black teams. And it is what it is. Okay. It is what it is. The state of the community is what it is. There were no false dispersions. There was no, oh, well, it's all black power and this kind of thing. Like, no, no, that's not. I did not grow up under any false dispersion of what the community was supposed to be. I've always known crackheads. My mom, before she passed away, she was a social worker. She worked with disenfranchised kids, disenfranchised youth. My family has always given back in the community. So no, we always pull up at the cookout, pull up at the cookouts. We spent time at the barbershops. I mean, anything that would validate a black card, like if there was a list of things that you had to put down on a black card, I pretty much checked off all the boxes. Shout out to Proud of Cook County, or Product of Cook County, with the $2 super trap. He says, you already know we outside every day.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hello?
Where we at?
Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
Shout out to Product of Cook County. You already know we outside with it. Shout out to Romer Duboth. He puts $10 on the super trap. He says, bro, you have nothing to prove. You just happen to make good choices and decide to be a man and not be a childish acting super gremlin.
Oh, say less.
And that's the reality of the situation, man. Like once you start to see, I'm going to tell you what, at my graduation party at high school was at a bando in one of the dirtiest, dustiest hoods that you would have ever seen. My high school graduation party, okay? Don't forget. And we pulled up to it, and it was at a bando, and they pretty much set up a speaker in the house, and everybody was getting twerk inside the house. Well, there was a dispute outside of the house, and this dispute leaked into about 3 a.m. in the morning. During this dispute, one of my teammates, one of my good friends, a guy who I played basketball with, was shot and killed. And I did a video on that in the past. On the video, I believe the live was called, I think it was people I know personally who were affected by super gremlins on Demon Time in the community, something like that. And, this guy that I grew up with, he was shot and killed at the graduation party. It was either my graduation party or my sister's graduation party. I can't completely remember. But once you see a couple of those, you're like, okay, I'm kind of turned off by this shit. Like, I don't want to be the nigga who ends up catching the bullet the next time. Okay. So, you guys have to realize. And then I've also seen some other shit. I've also seen some other shit that has happened in the community. But you guys got to realize that people get fed up. People get tired of this shit. And then when you do get tired of it, when you do start to speak out about it, especially as a black man, you're going to be ridiculed. You're going to be discredited. They're going to say you're not black. You haven't had any experiences with black people, or you don't know what being black is. And the reality is, we have an expectation of low expectations in the community. Like a lot of people do not want you to leave that hood mindset, even if you've already made it. They don't want you to leave that victim mindset, even if you've already made it. That's why we have LeBron James talking about some, oh, I don't think Brittney Griner would be wanting to come back to this country, when I literally did a video where she's begging President Biden to get her the fuck out of that Russian prison. And she's denouncing her old thought patterns and her old thought process by saying, I was wrong about America. Now I really know what freedom looks like. Well, yeah, after you're in those gulags for a few months, you're going to start to realize what freedom looks like. Right when, you know, your cellmate, your female cellmate, your glider female cellmate at that, tells you that there's a 1 in 3 chance that you're going to catch AIDS, especially if you're having sexual interactions in those prisons, then you're going to start to realize what freedom really is. Like, we have this victim mindset. LeBron James is talking out of his fucking ass. Even though I love LeBron's basketball talent, I'm going to call a spade a spade. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Let me get to exactly what he said, okay? Because I did want to address this, and I thought about making a video about it. But there were some memes going on saying, oh, well, LeBron, let's see, what was it? Basically, they were saying, oh, well, if it was LeBron James locked up, then he would have been released by now. Dude, for one, that's not true. For two, LeBron James wouldn't be that stupid to bring some vape carts into Russia, a country that, well, maybe he would be, because I mean, I don't even think he has an idea, even though he is a billionaire now. I don't think he has an idea on the geopolitical situation. And this is the problem with a lot of us brothers. We have no idea what the fuck is going on in the world. You have no fucking clue. You have no clue. And even Brittney Griner said that she wishes that she was home. She wishes that she was in America. And LeBron is contradicting what she's saying out of her mouth by saying, oh, well, she's not going to want to come back to this country since we didn't let her out of jail. Like, nigga, what? If she was in this country and did that shit, she would have been out of jail. She would have had a bail and got charged with a misdemeanor. But she broke the law in another country, and now she's going to have to face those consequences, point blank. Shout out to Cyrus Cherry with a $20 super trap. He says, I grew up in a community, and I was the quiet kid that eventually lashed out and got in trouble. Never prison, but I did have a few moments. I was skeptical about asking you that, but I'm glad I did. No offense intended.
Oh, say less.
Yeah, no, and I didn't take any offense to it. I'm just saying that, let me put that back on the screen so I can address it properly. You know, I also was the quiet kid, you know. I remember when I was at summer camp and there was this kid named DeMarcus, and now he's a grown man now, multiple prison bids. He's a known nigga in the streets. Very, very violent individual. But he was my friend back in the day. I mean, he wasn't my friend. He was kind of like the bully OG. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a friend of my older brothers, but he was a bully as well. So I wouldn't consider him a friend, but you know, he was a guy that we would play basketball with and whatnot. He was a very hood nigga, okay? And we were playing Manhunt. I think I've told this story on this channel before. We were playing Manhunt. Or sardines, as we call it. It's add-on tag, basically. So you tag somebody, they become it with you. Okay, so it's like team tag. And he stops the middle of the team tag game because he found a chicken, wild rooster, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And he finds a baseball bat and just starts beating the animal senseless. And I'm just sitting there like, bro, stop. And he wouldn't stop. Like, it's like he had a gripe to pick with this innocent chicken. And then I go home, and guess what my parents were cooking for dinner? Fucking fried chicken. I almost puked. I thought I would never eat chicken again because what he did to that chicken, he beat it with a baseball bat so excessively, like, it was just disgusting, man. But very hood nigga, serial killer tendencies, and I'm not surprised that he is in prison to this day. Okay, that's the reality of the situation. So I've seen a lot of shit in the community, a lot of shit that people might look over and say, oh, well, that's nothing. Oh, that is. Nah, bruh. That shit real. Like one time I had a cousin and he ended up fixing his life up. He was very violent kid, lashed out a lot, got in a lot of fights, but then he ended up going to the military and picked up boxing. And now he's an upstanding citizen. But there was a point in time where he was in big trouble and his grandma and his mama could not raise him. His mama was never there. His grandma was usually the one. And my cousin lived in the hood. So every time we went to the crib, we was chilling in the hood. They ain't have no AC. All they had was a PlayStation 2. All they had was a PlayStation 2, electricity, and some window units and some fans. So it was hot as a motherfucker. This is South Georgia. Okay, I'm from South Georgia. You know what I mean? So I'm from like that country and that hood. So it's country and it's hood. Okay. But you know, one time we were playing outside and he saw a frog. And when I tell you, bro, this is one of the most traumatic experiences I had as a kid. This nigga took a big ass rock and crushed the frog. And then he was like straight looking at the frog's guts, like that got crushed. I don't know. Like it was just some weird ass shit. Like, you know, growing up, it was a lot of the homies had some weird abusive relationships with animals. And I think that, you know, those were early signs that maybe there was something going on there in their mental. But anyways, let me show you guys what LeBron James said, because it was very ignorant. Okay, so let's get into it.
And candid comments from NBA legend LeBron James on jailed WNBA star Brittney Griner on the latest episode of his YouTube talk show. James said, quote, "How can she feel like America has her back?" Griner has been detained in Russia since February. She pleaded guilty to drug possession last week and will appear in court again tomorrow.
So she pled guilty. She's admitting guilt. She had them shits on her because she knew if she took this shit to motherfucking trial, she would have been violent. She would have got violated. She would have lost. Okay? She would have lost. Okay, I guess they're not going to actually show the actual quote. I'm trying to find the little clip. Let me see if I can find that clip. But he ended up clarifying and he said, "Oh, I love the US and da 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 da." But he put he put his foot in his mouth. Okay. Lord have mercy. Okay, here we go. I think I found it. All right. All right, here we go. Let's get it.
White people are collecting black art. Have you had to explain that ever to collectors?
It's not the responsibility of black folks to use their work as a teaching tool.
What? What the fuck are these niggas talking about, bruh? He said white people are collecting black art. Well, what about Jay-Z and his fucking Basquiat's?
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
What about Jay-Z and his Basquiat's, right? He always rapping about Basquiat this and Basquiat that. Okay? Oh, damn. I didn't even know Basquiat was black. God damn. But, you know, you got Picasso. All these different other painters. Like, I mean, he didn't he have a song called Picasso Baby? So, it's like, dog, people just collect art in general. It doesn't matter black or white art. Prodigal Cook County said, puts a $5 on the super trap. He said, I knew kids in the hood who did weird shit like that. Also, I knew little shorties that would throw rocks at pebble cars just driving by.
Oh, say less.
Yeah, man, that's how my homeboy got killed. The guy that I play football with, because not football but basketball with, because he threw a rock at like this rival gang's car, and then they pulled up and killed his ass. Honestly, that's what happened. But here we go.
It's not the responsibility of black folks to use their work as a teaching tool.
Brittney Griner, she is in Russia. She's been there
Over 110 days. Now, how can she feel like America has her back? I would be.
So she's been there 110 days. How can she feel like America has her back? Well, America had her back up until she broke the law in Russia. We had her back. We had her back up until she broke the law in Russia. Okay? That's the issue. And to address that black art thing, if white people didn't consume black art, none of these hip hop artists would be anywhere right now, because we all know black people don't buy albums. Come the fuck on. Honestly, I don't even know a nigga who legally purchased an album. Me personally. I don't know one. I don't know one nigga who has literally went to the store and bought a CD of a rap artist. We was torrenting, we was downloading, we was burning CDs, anything but to pay for the black art. So when he said, oh, well, it's not our responsibility to teach white people about black art, and black people or white people are hoarding and they're collecting black art, it's a travesty. Nigga, if white people didn't buy the art would not get sold. This is what you need to understand.
Be feeling like, do I even want to go back to America?
I'm not saying you're gonna be twice.
Do I even want to go back to America? I bet Brittney Griner would denounce her lesbianism and suck a dick right now to get back in America. I guarantee it. If all she had to do was give Putin some head, she would be the first one to sign up to get her ass back into America. Now, unfortunately for her, Putin doesn't like them like that. He don't like chicks who look like her, okay? Masculine women. But I guarantee that Brittney Griner would denounce her lesbianism, meaning she would suck dick and balls to get back into America right this second. And LeBron James really has the nerve to say, I don't know how she could feel comfortable wanting to come back to this country. Nigga, because she locked up in a foreign country. She's being deprived of the freedom that she took for granted when she was on American soil. Okay? Now she's backtracking, talking about some damn, oh, well, you know, I took my freedom for granted. Now I know what it means to be free in the freest country in the world. And Joe Biden, please get me back to the States. Like, oh, I think I'm going to die here. That's what she said. She said she thinks she's going to die in that Russian prison. And you really think that she would have a hard time? She would be on hands and knees. If she had to crawl back to America, she would do it rather than spending those 10 years in that Russian prison. What the fuck is he talking about?
She is in Russia. She's been there
Over 110 days. Now, how can she feel like America has her back? I would be feeling like, do I even want to go back to America?
I'm not saying you're gonna be twice as good to get half as much. I always didn't like that saying. So I said I just want to be twice as good because I want to be twice as good.
As a forward, you take risks all the time. If you're not taking risks, you're doing something wrong.
Okay, so that is the the preview to the shop uninterrupted. Honestly, I wish some niggas would invite me on that shit because I would debunk all the bullshit that they talking about. That's the reality of the situation. But obviously, they need men who think in this way, men who, you know, were raised off of excuses. They need that energy because it doesn't rattle the status quo. It makes them feel comfortable in their excuse for failure. Not saying that any of those brothers on that podcast were a failure, but it makes other black people comfortable with being failures. And I honestly think this is my real hypothesis. I think that these very wealthy, very fortunate black men who talk this victimization shit, I think that they are saying what they're saying in order to keep other black men from reaching the point of success that they're at. Because they want you to move with that victim mindset. They want you to say, oh, I can't do it because I'm black. They want you to say, oh, if I apply for this job, they're not going to hire me. They're going to hire the white person. They want you to be in that type of thinking. They want you to be in that line of thought. They want you to be in that mindset. Why? So you cannot compete with them. So you cannot get the wealth and the fame and the fortune and the validation from white people that they have. Straight up. That's exactly why. That's the only reason why. Otherwise, why would they say it? If they as individuals were able to get out of this oppression, get out of this systematic I don't even know what to call it, man. But if they were able to beat the system, quote unquote, why can't others? Why can't others? So they have to make that excuse so that they can keep the regular black men feeble-minded, so they can keep the regular black men at bay. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing what y'all doing. It's okay. You can fail. It's because you're black. No other reason. It's just because you're black. They want those excuses to persist in the community so that they don't have anybody else to challenge them. Okay? So that there's only a funnel to the success, right? Not a broad, wide and broad hole or gateway opening. Okay? So that's the reality. We covered a lot in this one. But for our conclusion, guys, do not ever act like Boosie. If you get pulled over by the police, it's not going to end as well as it did for him. Or maybe it will. Honestly, I mean, I've seen a lot of brothers cuss out the police and disrespect the police, and they were able to do it without getting any repercussions, and they got citations and kept it moving. I mean, we just saw those little super toddler gremlins who put their hands on police officers, and the police just kind of brushed them off. That's kind of what they do, these niggas are childish as fuck. That's pretty much how they look at y'all, especially if you're acting a fool like that when you're getting pulled over. Okay. But I'm going to tell you what right now, there is a high likelihood that every time you get pulled over, you will be let go. That's all I'm saying. You seen how Boosie acted. You seen he was caught red-handed. You seen that they found weed on him. They gave him his fucking weed back, and they let his dumb ass go. And then after they let him go, he said, "Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Officer." It's a disgrace, man. Black men, please do not conduct yourself in that way when you get pulled over by the police. It's not going to end well, especially if you get physical and you pacing and you jumping around a place like Boosie was, threatening folks. It just doesn't make sense. But anyways, you already know what it is, man. It's a Black Gen Z mindset. Before I go, I do need to remind you guys about the other channel. Okay, so we do have the other channel ready for consumption. And I did this, guys, for you, just in case you are tired of my commentary. Straight to the point, news stories from BGZM News 17. So make sure you go follow my other YouTube channel, BGZM News 17. We're putting out at least 3 videos a day on that channel, and we're putting out 2 to 3 videos a day on this channel. So we're working, y'all. We're working. But BGZM News 17 is uninterrupted. There are only news stories. It's not commentary. I'm not pausing and giving my take in between, even though some of y'all may like my take, some of y'all may not. But this channel is strictly news stories. So make sure you guys check it out. We have a plethora of videos already on BGZM News 17. So we need to get this channel to 1,000 subs. So I would really appreciate if you guys just went over to BGZM News 17 and simply click the subscribe button. Click the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. And make sure that you are getting all of the new videos that come out. I also live stream on that channel, as you can see. We also have the Rumble. We have the Rumble link in the description. And we have our merch. So we have female BGZM News 17 t-shirts, and we have male BGZM News 17 t-shirts. I'm working on the BGZM News 17 Pooh Shiesty mask, guys. I know y'all were calling for that. But first, I got to get my Teesprings connected to my YouTube channel. So that is my next goal for this channel. I am trying to get my Teesprings connected to my YouTube channel. So that's what I'm going to do next. And then I will work on those BGZM News 17 Pooh Shiesty masks. Now, I'm thinking about doing an embroidery or maybe just print it on. I'm not sure yet. So let me guys know what you think would be best. Make sure you guys check out that BGZM News 17 channel. We just got a sub there. So everybody who's subbed over here needs to go sub over there. Shout out to Cyrus Cherry with the $10 super trap. He said, you spot on. Can't wait till you cover a story about these gremlin pastors and the role they play in generational poverty. Ooh.
Oh, say less.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. I might have to do that. I'll have to do some research, as a matter of fact, but I might have to do that. So anyways, without further ado, we will go ahead and end this stream. Guys, I appreciate everybody for coming on the channel. You already know, make sure you go subscribe to BGZM News 17. And if you're not subscribed to Black Gen Z Mindset, I would assure you that it would behoove you to subscribe to this channel so that you can get updates on what is going on in the community. We come with facts, we come with problems, and we also come with solutions on this.